Thank you guys for showing up. I've got Garry Tallent waiting to come in, and in the meantime, we're gonna get going. I'm gonna play a couple songs for you guys. There's my. So I will take requests in the comments, and any questions you have for Garry Be Thinking. We'll do that in a minute. All the times I've known you, you made me wanna be a better man. I'd look into your eyes, no words have passed between us, you'd understand. That's some comfort. That's what I want. You spend your whole life working, running round in circles like a mother will. You say that when I hold you, it's the only time your soul feels like it's still. That's some comfort. That's what I want. That's some comfort. That's what I want. Every day is precious. I can feel the days taking flight. For you I'm thankful, for I know that I was truly loved in this life. That's some comfort. That's what I want. That's some comfort. That's what you want. Thank you very much. Hey everybody, so if you have a song request, put it in the comments. Also, if you see that little thing that says watch together with friends or with a group, if you want to start a watch party, that would be great. Get more people checking it out. This is requested. This is the first song, the first single off my record, Fear Nothing, back in 1993. And I would say, of all the songs that I've written, this is probably the most, I'm going to play it today because it's probably the most Springsteen influenced song that I have. When I was 19, I found myself in New York City, and I was playing guitar in the subways in New York. My place was Broadway, on the N&R line between 8th Street and Broadway. And I used to stand in front of this trash can there. And I started singing a lot of the... I've been to a Bruce concert, and I got that live 75 to 85 CD, and I just fell in love with Springsteen's lyrics, and playing down there in the subways. My finger, it was wintertime, and my fingers would almost freeze in shape, you know, and I'd played Springsteen tunes like No Surrender, songs like that, and that's where I decided, even though I'd grown up in a music business family and my dad was a songwriter and producer and publisher, it was really Springsteen that made me decide that I wanted to be the guy with the acoustic guitar singing songs that I cared about. So I moved back to Nashville, got a publishing deal, and then pretty quickly after that, I dropped out of college because I figured I don't need a degree for this. I need to go make some music and sing some songs and write some songs that mean something to me. So I moved to Los Angeles, and that's where I wrote this song, and I'll play it for you now. See you dancing in the corner with all of your best girlfriends. I'll do this. Laughing and singing, these are the days of your innocence. Us boys wanting your circle, but we don't dare break in. I'm leaning against the wall thinking, why your life is still easy and your heart is still light. Why don't you dance with this red-blooded American boy tonight? 'Cause your life is just a breath, and tonight is just a dance. Why don't you give this red-blooded American boy a chance? A woman stands beside me in my mind, her hair has a touch of gray. Sometimes I just shut my mouth, I know she knows what I'm gonna say. Look comes from her eyes, only born of loving years. Sometimes I open up my mouth and I fight back her tears. I say, while your life is still easy and your heart is still light, why don't you dance with this red-blooded American boy tonight? 'Cause your life is just a breath, and tonight is just a dance. Why don't you give this red-blooded American boy a chance? Oh baby, I'm out of control, don't know which way to run, don't know which way to go. All these days it's getting harder to live, we all need someone to hold on to. Just hold on to me and I'll hold on to you. Dance with me, I'll dance with you. while your life is still easy and your heart is still light. Why don't you dance with this red-running American boy tonight? 'Cause your life is just a breath, and tonight is just a dance. Why don't you give this red-blooded American boy a chance? Yes, why don't you give this red-blooded American boy a chance? All right, so tonight we're doing like a virtual tip jar. I can't do shows right now, so I'm singing for my supper. So there's my PayPal. If you feel like tipping, that'd be great. The dog's barking outside. Gary and I were talking yesterday. His dog started barking. I said, don't worry about my dog. My dog won't bark during the broadcast. But there she is barking. But anyway, so it's interesting. I was thinking about it earlier. Gary's favorite, he told me one time his hero was Buddy Holly. And my dad wrote and co-wrote many of those Buddy Holly tunes, like Heartbeat, Wishing Was Made a Fool of You. Gary even knows the Buddy and Bob stuff. And so I was kind of brought to Gary by the Springsteen connection. And I think he was probably drawn to me for the Buddy Holly connection. So it's funny how things work out like that. I'm going to play one more song and then I'm going to bring Gary on. But and then I've got a question about this particular record. This was off the Not Fade Away Remembering Buddy Holly record. And I had the honor of being on it. And Mary Chapin Carpenter actually sang with me on the record. Sonia's just asked, what instrument on the shelf behind you? That right there I'm very proud of. That is a cigar box little guitar that my friend Reg Fairfoot, who lived in Crete at the time, made for my son Bo. And he made it from his bare hands, so I'm really proud of that. So we want to send a shout out to Reg. All right. So this is a song I sang with Mary Chapin Carpenter on that Remembering Buddy Holly record. And I'm nervous as heck tonight. I get nervous. I wake up on a Sunday morning, I'm nervous as heck. My back is all. I even went on a walk today to try to just chill out. But I wanted it to go so well, talking to Gary. Even though we've had lots of band time together, it's a different thing when you're interviewing somebody. But anyway, this goes out to my dad and Buddy. Well, let me try it again. Wishing that I could see you every day. Wishing that I could steal your heart away. Dreaming all the time I could hold you tight. Wishing at the time would come tonight. I've been hoping all along things will turn out right. If I could find a wishing star, then I would spend the night wishing that I could see you every day. Wishing that I could steal your heart away. find a wishing star, then I would spend the night wishing that I could see you every day, wishing that I could steal your heart away, wishing. All right. There's my Venmo right there. So, without further ado, I want to bring on Garry Tallent. Let's see. Garry, are you ready? He's flipping through his records there, and we're gonna do something. Get him online with us.
Am I on?
The sound is on, but I'm trying to get us. There you go.
Oh,
There you go. Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, Garry Tallent. How you doing, buddy?
good. How are you? I was pulling out wishing on a Coral. I guess it's a promo 45, not for sale. So your dad didn't make any money.
That is awesome. So that's an original copy.
Well, that's the promo copy. The one I actually bought, it didn't come out till like '62, and it was the flip side of Brown-Eyed Handsome Man, I think. But it came out, it's all about that. It's all dubbed and stuff. Anyway, how?
Yeah.
We've been.
That is awesome. So they didn't see this, but we started the webcast, and you were off camera, and you probably ran downstairs and got a bunch of Buddy CDs, right?
Oh, I didn't have to go downstairs. Yeah, I always keep it close by.
Yeah.
Oh, no, these aren't CDs. Kevin,
Oh,
these
sorry,
are like a big
records.
thing that
Yeah,
you used to
sorry.
have before your time. These are called 45s.
No, I remember. What did you tell me one time?
I always did.
A wishing.
Yeah.
Yeah, the thing is, when you're covering an artist like Buddy Holly, you can't try to be Buddy Holly. Like when I recorded "I Wish I Were Blind" by Springsteen, you can't out Springsteen. You just have to. When we started recording that record, the guys Paul Bushnell, Doug Pettibone, Jim Christie, Skip Edwards, they we heard the song, or they heard it, and they went in and they were kind of playing it like the E Street Band would play it. And I just said, guys, let's back off here, and let's do it really an ethereal version of it, and try to make it something different. And that's what we did, and they got it in the first or second take after that. But you just can't. You can't out Springsteen. You certainly can't out Buddy Holly. So we did it as I see it as a prayer every night when I sing it on stage. It's like my little musical prayer to Buddy and my dad.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting that I always love those chord changes where they go the following fourths, and they did the same thing on Every Day, and it's just a nice little trick, and it's very it's very Buddy and Bob, that chord change. They've used that a couple times, and so yeah, everybody knows I'm a Buddy Holly nerd, and yes, we met. I guess I found out that you were Bob Montgomery's son, and yes, I said, "Oh, well, come here, son. I want to talk to you." So how long has that been? 30 years?
That's probably 25 years. I think it was when I was about 23. And you took me to my first ever Indian food restaurant in Nashville, Tennessee. And this was 25 years ago. And I have to tell you, I had a sleepless night, put it that way. And I refused to eat Indian food for about 10 years after
And now
that.
you live in England, you have to eat Indian
You
food.
know, I eat it probably 3 times a week. I'm eating Indian food, and I think I took you to my local Indian food restaurant here. You and the whole band when we did the tour in 2017. I took you guys to a place called Mangoes, and I think y'all enjoyed it, didn't you?
Yeah, it was, well, you sent me that, all those clips that you had on your phone of the last tour. I forgot how much fun it was. That was really a kick to just see that and and remember. It was not an easy tour, as you know.
No, no.
But we had some good times, and certainly the shows were the highlights. That's for sure.
Yeah, the
The sheep
travel
farm
is
was pretty
always
cool.
difficult. What's that?
The sheep farm was definitely a memory I'll never forget.
The sheep what?
It's the sheep farm where we stayed in
Oh
Scotland,
yeah,
the shepherd's home.
yeah. And if you watch the video clip, and if you Google on YouTube, Garry Tallent with Kevin Montgomery, UK Ireland head, highlights. One of the second or third clips, we played a little village called Ettrick Bridge in the borders of Scotland, and I told Gary we were playing, good sized rock clubs, and I told him, I said, look, this particular place is a tiny little village that doesn't even really have anything there. The people that are going to come to this show are going to come from the stone houses you see up on the hills with the sheep all around them, and it's going to be the farmers and the shepherds and the people from those hills are going to come to the show, and there's going to be 100 people allowed in this little village hall,
It's the whole town.
it's yeah, the whole town, the whole area. But I said, look, I think it's going to be so important for you to see, because I would imagine when you're on the road with Springsteen, maybe you miss some of these beautiful little spots in the world, and I wanted you to experience it. So when you see that clip, it looks like there's 6 people dancing in front of the stage, and that's it. But there's actually 100 people there. But yeah, we had a ball. I want to ask you. So,
Yes.
yeah, no, man. We've had a lot of van time together, but the last few days, I've been looking at different interviews you've done just to try to do some research and let me play a little video, and then I want you to react to it and tell me your version of let me see if I can get it going.
Well, I'm not really seeing, but I can.
I think you can hear it.
I can hear it. Sure, I can hear you. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
You want
I'm
my
trying to get
version
this thing going.
of
Man,
the
I'm
story?
I'm new to this technology here. Let's see,
I'm not new to it. I just still don't understand it.
man. Well, anyway,
It's your show.
yeah, I know. I just can't get the dadgum video to work. So
Maybe it's time to run a commercial.
yeah,
Oh, you don't
no,
have
no,
to.
no.
Commercial.
Tell me about the first time you met Springsteen, because he has a story that I saw on YouTube, and I grabbed a little video where he talked about he was playing with a guy named Mad Dog, and he said that you walked in, you pulled a chair into the middle of the dance floor, you sat down, and you just sort of mean mugged him through the whole set, and he said, and I'm paraphrasing, because I'm having to do it on the fly, but basically he said, the way you're looking at him, he thought, well, he doesn't like me very much, and there's no chance we'll ever play together. Do you have your version of that story?
Well, yeah. There's even a cartoon that somebody's done about that.
Yeah, that's that's the little video I had.
Oh yeah, and then this part about Mad Dog is him getting in jail and having his hair buzzed off.
Yeah,
Yeah, he had. Well, Bruce has his own version of it, and of course, everybody has their own version of things.
yeah.
Well, the fact is, that story is about half true. He says I was there with Southside. I wasn't. I was actually Danny Federici. You want the whole story? We got plenty of time.
We had plenty of time.
Oh, okay, I'll give you the whole story. I was putting a band together at the time because Speed Limit 25 had broken up, and at the same time, Vinny, I think, was trying to put together a version of The Moment of Truth, and we're both trying to use those names. I actually owned both names, but there was a local following, so rather than start a new band, I would just start a new band with one of those names. And Vinny kind of figured the same thing, so he was going to use The Moment of Truth. Vinny and I got in a little, well, we didn't agree all the time, we'll put it that way. I've known Vinny since we were both 16 years old. I guess 15, when I moved to New Jersey. So, back to that story. Yeah, Danny and I wanted to put the band together with two keyboards. Donnie Lowell is his stage name. Donnie Lubitz was the keyboard player in Speed Limit 25. And Danny I knew from playing with Downtown Tangier's Rockin' and Rhythm and Blues Band with Vinny. And I always liked the idea of two keyboards, mainly because of the band. I was a big fan of Procol Harum, even Spooky Tooth, if you remember them. I always liked the organ and the piano was just a great sound, both instruments. So I was trying to put a band together at that point with Donnie and Danny. And keyboard players don't like other keyboard players, as it turns out. They want to be the only keyboard player. And Donnie and Danny both felt the same way about the whole thing. I wanted both of them. So anyway, Danny was also being courted by Vinny to join him in his new version of a band, which wouldn't include me. So anyway, they went down to an Italian-American club in Long Branch and heard this new fellow from Freehold, and they thought he was pretty good. I guess Vinny convinced him to come down to the upstage to play. So Danny asked me to come down. I didn't come down until after my gig, wherever that was, I don't know, but it was late. So I got there, and I saw Danny, and another band was on, and everybody was dancing. The dance floor was full. And so I see Danny, and he says, yeah, this guy's coming on next. And I said, great. So I said, well, let's make sure we get a good spot. So I turned my chair around. I think Danny joined me the same way. But I would turn my chair around because that's a comfortable way of sitting. And I was outside on the perimeter of the dance floor. So there was a set change, and me and Danny were sitting there talking. And all of a sudden, the dance floor was empty. So I was probably more obvious because I was basically in the middle of the room, but right behind the dance floor. And I think that Bruce probably knew who I was because I was in a band that was very hot at the shore. And, I'm sure that he did his research or whatever. But anyway, I was checking him out, and it's true, I was. And the fact was, I thought he was pretty damn cool. And Danny, at the end of this set, said, I think I'm going to join the band with Vinny and this guy. And he said, I'm going to hitch my wagon to this star. And I go, yeah, I understand, Danny. The guy, he's good. You should do that. And at that point, that's when they started Child. And I pretty much gave up on my idea of starting a new band. I forget what happened with that. Oh, yeah, Billy Chittick moved to town. I'll write a book someday and tell you all. But, yeah, Bruce's version isn't far from the truth. I mean, that was his conception or perception of what was going on. But yeah, I actually dug him. I thought that he had it didn't take a genius to see this guy has the motivation, has the talent, has the will, the blinders on to do what it takes to go far. And I definitely told Danny that's what he should do that night. So it's not like I didn't dig him, it just. But that's my side of the story.
Yeah.
Here we go.
So tell me about the Upstage Club. Is that where you guys first played together? It sounds like my perception of it, is that it was it was a place where you guys went to jam, and you kind of maybe formed the E Street Band kind of based around that. Is that correct?
Well, that was the local hang for musicians, yeah. And I the idea was to try to work as a musician. I went to the upstage when I didn't have any work, which was pretty often, I suppose, especially in the winter months. But also later on, Tom Potter actually started he would give me $15 a night just to show up to play with whatever guitar slinger would come in, and they would need a bass player. So he hired me and Bobby Williams to just kind of be the rhythm section of the night, as it were.
And you guys were the only ones that got paid, right?
Well, no, Tom would sneak money to Bruce and to Steven. You know, he knew that we're all living hand to mouth. So he didn't pay bands, but he would pay individuals, and he would slip us some money like this and that. It wasn't like a paid gig, but Tom was just kind of one of these guys. You know, he knew that he needed a bass player and a drummer, so that way he could make sure that we were there all the time.
Yeah. So
guitar players were a dime a dozen, so he didn't have to pay any of them. But actually, he would pay Bruce or Steven if they were hosting a whole night, you know, and running the jams and stuff. You know, it was a whole big production, really. It was all pretty by the seat of the pants. He would just open and figure there would be music all night, and he didn't have to hire a band or anything. There would just be people dying to play for free, and you could just bring your guitar and plug it into the wall. And so he had speakers in the stage and the amplifiers, and they were all, he took apart a bunch of 59 Fender Bassements and took the speakers and, you know, just got rid of the cabinets. But you're plugging into a 59 Bassman, it sounded pretty damn good at the time, especially this is the time of Cream and all that. So we just turned it all up. It was all distortion. It was great. You didn't need a distortion pedal. So it was just a great place to be at. It was the right place at the right time, and we all wound up hanging there, probably more than we should have.
You said,
but yeah. Well, Vinny, I knew Vinny from high school. I knew Southside from high school. I knew Danny from Tangiers and the Storytellers before that. And, well, David Sanchez, we played together with Billy Chimney from Glory Road. So Clarence I knew from Little Melvin and Invaders. Boom, I knew from since he was 12 years old. I knew all these people long before I knew Bruce. But when he came to the shore, he just kind of, chose the people that he wanted to play with. And it took a while to get down to the E Street Band, of course. And even there were some changes over the years there.
Wow. We were talking about the other day, you said you felt...
Short.
No, I love it. I'm going to kick my dog out of here real quick. I want you to tell me a little bit about, while I'm doing that, it'll take 2 seconds. I told you the other day when I had Robert Reynolds on, she kept coming in and lapping at her drink while Robert was playing a song. I told you that wouldn't happen. But anyway, she's gone now. That's fixed. We were talking the other day and you said you felt lucky. Why do you feel lucky?
What do you mean? Because I'm a lucky guy.
Yeah, but you said you feel like the luckiest guy in the world. Why do you feel like that?
Well, I'm sure a lot of people have that feeling, but well, damn, I'm not one of those ambitious characters like a lot of people I know, but I've been able to work with a lot of ambitious characters and learn a lot from them and keep busy. And I never really had much ambition. I just wanted to avoid work. So music seemed a good way of doing that. And when I found out that I could actually get paid for playing music, then I was all in. So from the time I was about 15, I've made money in music, and I don't see any reason to stop. Because it's even when I got a straight job, which I had to do occasionally. Well,
You
not
worked for
since
Did you work for Dano Electrics making basses?
I worked at the Dan Electro factory, which was in Neptune City, New Jersey, which was down the street from where I lived. So yeah, in the wintertime, there, especially after the riots in Asbury, there was no work. The bars got real slow. I was working we were trying to put original bands together, and there's no money in that. If you weren't playing the hits in the club bands, and there was no money. And in the wintertime, there was very little club work. So I worked at Dan Electro in a factory, yes, putting together amplifiers and guitars. And so, I mean, at least I was around music, and I actually, my job was testing guitars, which can't do better than that, a final assembly. So I had a pretty good job, but then it was just a damn job, and I hated it. So I wound up quitting. But first, I went down to see a band called the Jaywalkers, which John Shaw and the Jaywalkers have been around since the early '60s. Great, great local band, all covers, all just clubs, just a club gig. But I went down there and told John, I got, give me a job. I got to get out of this factory work. So John hired me on guitar. He hired me as a rhythm guitar player. And I quit Dan Electro and went to work for John. And then when eventually I switched to bass in that band, for a while I played guitar, for a while I played keyboard, for a while, and then I switched to bass. And at that point I got Steven Van Zandt in that same band because he needed work too. So yeah, it was just a matter of all this time we were probably putting other bands together, working other bands, but you needed a steady gig if you wanted to live. So the Jaywalkers was a godsend.
I heard that Stevie was working on the highway. I mean, he was working for the highway, building highways and working a jackhammer.
He was running the jackhammer, yeah.
At what point did he do that job? Like
in the early 70s. Early 70s.
Yeah, but were you guys Bruce Springsteen and E Street Band at that point?
No, we were Bruce Springsteen Band or Bruce Springsteen. I mean, there was no, we didn't have a name. It was the Bruce Springsteen Band for a while.
And so he was running a jackhammer while you guys were doing that.
Well, no, not the whole time.
Yeah.
He left the band at the beginning of the first album.
Right.
I guess he would have to be the one to tell you that story.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was in the studio to cut greetings with us, and he was invited to leave.
Yeah.
And I probably should have left with him, but I didn't.
So I heard a story that I thought was hilarious. I've often joked around that I'm going to do a Kevin Montgomery tribute band, go out, bill it as a Kevin Montgomery tribute band, go out, because everywhere you look, tribute bands are like putting 600 people into venues. And I go out on the road and I put 200, 250 in. And I thought if I go out as a Kevin Montgomery tribute band, maybe I have a shot of putting 600 people into a place.
It's worth the try.
Yeah, but you got to tell me about the story when I guess you guys were in a lawsuit with Mike Appel, maybe.
Yeah, that was late '70s. Yeah, it went on for years. I wasn't in any lawsuit. Bruce was in a lawsuit.
Yeah,
I was just waiting for it to be over with.
And how long was that wait?
3 years.
And you couldn't work.
Well, I could have worked somewhere else, but I mean, I worked. I worked with Tal Farlow, jazz guitar player, at a little club in Rumson, playing upright bass. There's always gigs, but yeah, there was no E Street work. No money coming in from there. No.
But I heard that there was a Bruce Springsteen cover band that you found out about.
Well, I didn't find out about him. He was playing up the street less than half a mile away. I lived in Seabright, and there was a band called Backstreets. Now they're the B Street Band, but it was the same guys. Back then they were called Backstreets, and yeah, they were Bruce Springsteen tribute band, and they were up there bringing in like a couple thousand people into the club every night, making tons of money. And I was broke, so yeah, I was a little bemused by the music business at that point. Yes,
Man,
bemused would be a good word.
that is hilarious. When did you feel like you guys had made it? When did everything change?
Born to Run. I mean, no, wait. Born in the USA. Born in the USA. 85, everything changed. We went from being, straight guys in vans as what's the gal from Stevie Nicks used to call us. It's true. Straight guys in vans pretty much the whole time. And then we wound up in Australia, and all of a sudden, the paparazzi was out. We were on the front page of the news. All kinds of gossip columnists everywhere. While we were, I guess, on our way and getting ready to get to Australia, it took a couple of weeks to get set up and all the equipment there. By the time we got there, Born in the USA had just kind of taken off, and we didn't know anything about it. So all of a sudden, we were like, what the hell is going on here? So yeah, so about 15 years to be an overnight success.
And you told me when we were on tour that you guys toured for a long time, and they're for not a lot of money, right? Just you were surviving.
Well, we started the band in '71, and really didn't make even a well. I'm not. It was pretty meager existence, yeah. Until the river tour. I think I was making $1,000 a gig. I thought we had made the big time, but it turns out that by the time you pay taxes and accountants and agents and stuff, even $1,000 a night is not that much money.
Wow.
And that was 1980. So I mean, I thought it was pretty good. It was certainly more than we had ever made in our lives. And
Yeah. So I saw a video of you guys that I thought was so cool. You played with Chuck Berry. Can you tell us about the first time you played with Chuck Berry?
The first time we played with Chuck Berry. Oh, actually, the first time we played with Chuck Berry was like in '73. One of the first gigs we ever did was opening at it was Maryland, Cole Fieldhouse. I guess it was University of Maryland, and we were opening the bill, and it was Jerry Lee Lewis and Chuck Berry, and Bruce Springsteen was the opening act. I don't know how we got that gig, but I'm the one that I knew that Chuck didn't have a backup band, and they would just have to hire some local kids to back him up, and that was always a disaster. So I went to the promoter and said, well, we're already there. We got our instruments there. Why don't you hire us to be Chuck Berry's backup band? And he thought that was a good idea. We didn't get paid any extra money, but we did get to back up Chuck Berry, and it was a fantastic night. I'll never forget it. Chuck was Chuck. He was sure that we were going to suck, and he was ready for it. But we kind of got him going. He dug it. We got him. It was a good show.
How did you know that he dug it?
Well, he smiled. Well, Southside was with us. He had made the trip with us, and he was playing harmonica. He's like kind of in the back of the stage. Figuring nobody would notice him, and so Chuck's playing, and all of a sudden Chuck goes, and he goes back like this, and he sees Southside back there, and Southside of course goes, oh shit, I'm in trouble now. And he goes like, and Chuck comes back toward it, and he grabs the mic stand, and then he takes it, he moves it to the front of the stage, and makes John get up in front of the stage and play. And yeah, Chuck had a great time. It was, I've seen Chuck perform, with backup bands who didn't know what a Chuck Berry song was, and it's very, very dismal. But yeah, he had a good time. Chuck had a good time that night, and Chuck was. I know everybody says what a bastard he was. And, we got to be pretty good friends. He was always great with me, and I respect the man and will love him forever. But he had reasons to be bitter. But whenever he played with the Street Band, he had a good time.
I saw a video on YouTube of you guys playing with Chuck. There's the dog that I told you wouldn't bark.
You promised, Kevin.
I know.
Promises.
I know. But I saw a video on YouTube of. By the way, before I say that, any questions from people watching, and where are you watching from? Just put it in the comments where you're watching from. And I'm just scanning to see if we have any questions from people.
Is anybody actually watching?
Yeah, there are. And if you want to watch with your friends, you can just do a watch party or share it to your page. That'd be great. But where are you watching from? Antoinette Switzer says, "Oh, Gary, thanks for the dance in Philly." She's from Ireland. She came to the show. Well, a few of the shows in Ireland, I believe. And there's, let's see what we got going on. We got people in Cork, Brighton, Italy, Spain, California. Okay. Ellen says, sorry to hear about Olivia's wedding being postponed. And she was wondering, it went by so fast. But anyway, she says hello. But
yes, a lot of things are being postponed this year, aren't they?
Yeah. But the video was of you and Bruce and this E Street Band, and it was a huge concert, and you had Chuck Berry up there, and he was rocking out. Have you seen that one on YouTube?
That was part of the opening of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in Cleveland. We got to back up Chuck Berry and Buddy Holly that very day.
Oh, wow. Now, so what was that meeting after all those...
Chuck Berry and Jerry Lee Lewis.
Yeah, well, I was going to say, maybe it was, I thought, maybe it was a hologram.
Go, huh?
I thought it was a hologram,
Well, I'm sitting here looking at this, and I just had it on my mind. But yeah, we backed up Jerry Lee and Chuck that day.
So, speaking of Buddy Holly, tell me what Buddy Holly means to you.
What Buddy Holly means to me?
Yeah.
Geez, what it means to me. Just an inspiration as far as just very, very young, at a very young age. I just, for some reason, latched on to his music, his voice, the sound, the songs, the whole bit. And it wasn't, I didn't really know of Buddy Holly until his death. And I guess that's where I heard the name, and I listened to Richie Valens, I listened to Big Bopper, and that was all cool. But Buddy Holly, so I always thought there's something kind of weird about me. I mean, I was a big Eddie Cochran fan. It's all the dead people, I guess, don't let you down. Their music will always be great. They don't go on to do terrible music or grow bad beards or anything. So I don't know. But yeah, Buddy, I just, I guess it's one of those people.
I'm hiding my beard, by the way.
You knew you couldn't be Elvis, but you might be able to be Buddy.
Yeah.
One of those things.
I'm hiding my beard, by the way.
Oh, I shaved mine. Can you tell?
Yeah, you shaved. I thought you were gonna go all quarantine beard.
Too hot. This is Nashville, Tennessee. You know that. July.
Yeah. Well, Gary, you know what? I've been today, of course, I know the break time record. That was the record that you were selling on the yes. I have about
Sold out.
200 and yeah.
Sold out.
I have no, you're not, because I have about 200 of them in my attic right now. So if you
You
want
hear
to
that,
buy,
everybody?
yeah, if you want to buy a
Call
copy of
Kevin.
Gary's record, email me at kevin@kevinmontgomery.com, the break time record, because I literally, especially if you live in Europe, because I have about 200 of them left over from the tour that I'd love to make some space for in the attic.
Yeah,
But
I'd like to make some space too. I've got a
yeah,
bunch of these.
so I was gonna say that is the More Like Me album cover,
Have you ever
and
listened? Have you listened to it
I
yet?
yes I have.
Oh,
I listened to it today, and I was blown away, Gary. Uh, to you know the I love that song, Another Song. I was
oh
smiling when
no!
I heard it.
Oh no! Another song.
Oh no, Another Song. I thought was hilarious,
Well, you were
and
there.
then
You were there when that was written. Well, you weren't in the room, but yeah,
was
we.
oh I was gonna say, do I get credit?
Uh, I give you credit.
Okay, thanks. Um, then the other song that I really loved off the record is about the third or fourth song in. Tell me the titles. It was really
Oh, I
groovy.
didn't know there was going to be a quiz.
Well, tell me the
Well, oh no!
rundown.
Another song is the third song in.
Yeah, what's the fourth or fifth song?
Well, Tell the Truth, and then Too Long. Too Long was actually written with the same people as Oh No, Another Song that same day. With and they're in England when I was in England with you.
Yeah.
So you,
Um,
I don't know, oh, you
I
like
got it
Dirty
right
Hearts?
here.
What's that?
No Sign of Love. Dude, that
Well,
song is incredible. And I heard it on YouTube. So go to YouTube and put in Garry Tallent, No Sign of Love. That song is incredible. I love it. I love the production. I can say this, Mike McAdam, who for many years played in my band, Kevin Montgomery and the Road Trippers, I believe is the guitar player on the record. Is that the case?
yes, Mike McAdam is. I'm actually the guitar player on that track, but yeah,
Well,
Mike did that record. Yes.
the guitar playing is just beautiful. I can tell he played on, uh, you know, the song "Oh No, Not Another Song" or "Another Song." He definitely played on that one because I can
Yes.
hear Mike McAdam all over that. That's a good combination, Gary. I love that. Who else played on the record?
Well, Jimmy Lester, Mark Winchester, and Jack Irwin was the band. Mark Winchester and Jimmy, of course, did the first album and the first tour with me.
Yeah.
Oh no, Mark. Well, Mark didn't because he had to go on tour with Brian Setzer, he and Kevin. So we had Etienne and oh gosh, I forgot the piano player's name.
Oh, Johnny McKinnon.
Johnny. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And they did a great job.
Well, you should be proud of the record. It's a beautiful record. It really is. It's cool.
Thank
And
you.
what was the inspiration behind it?
Behind what?
The record.
Inspiration behind the record?
Yeah.
I just figured I'd try a second one, and this one would be more of a 60s garage, cheesy organ, fuzz tone kind of thing, which is fun. The first one was more of a rockabilly kind of 50s thing, and then with the Jordanaires and all that kind of stuff. It just, I guess I thought that you kind of had to have a concept or some kind of identity for the record. You can't just do everything. So I tried to just keep it in a genre. I think next one I do will just be a hodgepodge of anything because genres are tough.
Well, I love it. So where can people get the record?
Oh,
besides, I've got the graphics, More Like Me at backstreets.com. You can
Oh,
get
you can
More Like Me.
order from you can order from Backstreet. You can order from Amazon. You can, and if you just want to listen to it, it's on Spotify. It's on Amazon. It's on everything. More Like Me, Garry Tallent. I guess just do a search. But yeah, there are plenty of records available. If anybody actually, there's even vinyl, and it's multicolored vinyl.
I love it. Vinyl's come back in, and I'm gonna print my first record in vinyl. I Fear Nothing, my first record. I kind of missed the vinyl phase. I was right at the
Mm-hmm.
beginning of CDs and
Cassettes.
yeah, cassettes and CDs, and totally missed the vinyl. And I made it. So I'm making a new record for those of y'all that are tuning in. I'm crowdfunding my new record. It's called Good Thing, and I've got it up on Indiegogo. So if you want to help me push it over the edge, go to Indiegogo.com and do Kevin Montgomery Good Thing. But I made a vinyl option, and I was really surprised how many people got the perk for the vinyl, and I'm excited about it being the first record I've ever done in vinyl, just because I want something to hold and look at the credits, and I miss that.
Yeah, me too. I just tried to make one copy, but they wouldn't do that, so I had to print a bunch of them. So I just wanted one for myself. I like vinyl.
Well, I think that's a great idea. So you've told me, I know this because I was on the road with you. You like to go out to record shops when you're on tour. So you hit the road with the E Street Band. When you get into a new town, what are you gonna do?
Record shops. That's what I did through the '70s, '80s, and '90s. It was great. It was a great way to keep busy. I built up my record collection that way. I would go to jukebox distributors. I would go to old record stores and thrift stores. But those days are kind of gone, Kevin. Um, you can't find things in this kind of condition anywhere except, you know, somebody who's bought it in the '70s and reselling it for a ton of money. I bought all this stuff for nickels and dimes, and it just kept me busy, and it was a good hobby. But now, anything you want to listen to, you can dial it up on Spotify. Who knew that in the '70s? I just figured I would have the only records left over, but can't see into the future.
What is your most treasured, either memorabilia or record that you found in that manner,
I don't have
or
a
just
most.
memorabilia?
I don't really have a most. But well, the actually the one record I could not find for the longest time was the Decca version of "That'll Be the Day." Um, and I looked around, and I even told my friend on Bleecker Street at the oldie shop, in New York. So I went in there, and it was like 2 years later, and he came up with a copy, brand new mint copy, and it's probably the only record that I spent $200 on one record. That was back in the '80s, and it just broke my heart. But I did ask the guy to find it, and he did, by George. So he said, "I found it for you at $200." And I said, $200 for a piece of vinyl? But it's in mint condition. It's very rare, and it's pretty cool to have. And probably if I want to sell it now, it'd probably be worth more than $200. I don't know.
Yeah,
But yeah,
that's
most of the
that's
records I found just in junk stores, and it was a good way to stay out of trouble. That's how I put it.
So Brian Torley is asking, Gary, how often do you listen to Buddy Holly music? In car, home, favorite song? So what's your favorite Buddy Holly song?
I don't pick favorites. Um, I think Well Alright is one of the most brilliant rock records the 50s came up with. It wasn't a big hit, but just the whole production of that and just the vibe of that. I mean, I like everything Buddy did. And of course, That'll Be the Day would be hard to beat. Peggy Sue, I mean, all those things. I don't have a favorite. I can't even say Buddy Holly's my favorite artist. I mean, there's just too many people that I'm just in love with their art.
Do you have a favorite current record, or do you have a favorite current artist? That when I say current artist, someone that you've.
Yeah, well, I turn on Spotify or something like that once in a while, and just put on things. God, now I'm not gonna be able to remember the name now. It's Brothers. I thought I was listening to an Everly Brothers cut that was done in the '60s or something. It was great, and now I can't think of the brothers that are out there now singing. Yeah, there's a lot of great stuff out there. Jason Isbell has a great new album. There's tons of that's the thing. It's like, do I really want to make another record? I mean, there's so many great things out there. Who has time for it all? But
okay, Andrew Thomas, who is one of my friends from London, says, Gary, what is your favorite Bruce song to play live with the E Street Band?
I don't pick favorites. I like the one I'm playing at the moment. That's my answer.
Okay,
at the moment.
Is there a song, a Springsteen and the E Street Band song that you know the audience is just going to go nuts every time you play it?
Born to Run.
Okay.
Rosalita. Drummerland. People, there are songs that people hear the first chord and they know what it is and they go crazy. It's great. It's wonderful. I don't go crazy for any of them. I like them all, but I'm just a cog in the wheel.
You know, one of my favorite moments at a Springsteen tune is Because of You. And it's your bass, whatever note you're hitting on Born in the USA, and the big build up at the very end, where it kind of Max is doing that drum thing, and you just hang on this note, and it's just one of those moments where you're like, it's a rock and roll.
It's a dissonance. It's supposed to be disruptive.
It is. It's a totally dissonant note, but it makes the whole tune for me. Of course, I mean, it really does. I'm not saying it just because you're in my live web stream. It totally makes it. It's like a rock and roll moment. Okay, let's see.
I refer to it as a lot of noise, but
okay.
Noise is a big part of rock and roll.
Okay, this is a good question. I'm going to try to grab it. Archie Anderson says, question for Gary. When the boss heads into the crowd and brings back a song request that you haven't got on the set list, for example, Summertime Blue and Circa Maximus, how do you manage to get the tune? Bruce has the words, but how do you manage to get the music spot on?
That's the only answer to that. You play the song. If you don't know the song, you can't play it. But if you know the song, everybody knows. I mean,
okay,
we know a lot of songs.
So how many songs do you have to have right up here when you hit the stage with the E Street Band?
Somewhere
Is
around
there a number?
I think around 1,200.
1,200 songs.
Well, he's got 500 himself. I mean, 700 covers. That's about right. We don't play them every night, but you got to have them because you don't know what's going to be thrown at you. Or what's going to be thrown at you, I should say.
So
yeah, there's no way to prepare for that. We do have, in that case, we have people below stage who are, as it's going on, they are getting up the lyrics for these songs, and they will have them on the teleprompter by the time by the time he counts 1, 2, 3, 4, the words for the song are on the teleprompter. So people are busy, but there's really nothing I can do. I can't go to Google and say, what are the chords for Summertime Blues? Either you know them or you don't.
Yeah, so you told me one time, is there someone that is underneath the drum riser that is watching Bruce, everything he's doing, that is doing that with like Googling the lyrics? Is that what happens? Or
Yeah.
is that a big secret?
Oh, is that a secret? I don't know if it's a secret. If it's a secret, I'm sorry, but yeah, he can't remember all those words. I can't remember the words to my own songs.
Because I saw you sing, I saw you guys do Jump by Van Halen on YouTube. You did Jump. I think Roy, went into the keyboard part, and then you guys just fell in. Are
Difficult, Kevin.
What's that?
It's not that difficult.
Yeah, but I mean, it is pretty amazing. I mean, like when we're as a fan, when we're watching you on stage, you do you have an iPad of your own somewhere near where you're going to be, or how does it come up for the chords? And this is, you called yourself a geek yesterday. So I'm geeking out for a minute for all the musicians, the live musicians out there. What are you seeing? Is it like a teleprompter or what is it that you're reading? Like if a song comes up that you're not sure about.
Fake it.
Fake it till you make it.
I have two rules. When in doubt, lay out. And the other is, if you know what it is, play it loud and aggressively.
I love that. Bambi Torres asks, "Is Gary singing the feed?" No, Gary's not. I don't think Gary's seeing the feed. I'm seeing it, and I'm kind of feeding the questions.
Well, it's out of sync.
Yeah.
I see it now. Yeah, it's completely out of sync. I can't look at it.
Hey, will you play us a song?
Play who a song?
All of us, me and all.
Play a song.
Yeah.
You want to hear the bass part on what song?
No.
Yeah.
I want to hear one of your songs.
Oh, one of my songs. I play.
Is there a story behind that guitar?
Isn't that exciting?
Yeah.
You want me to do a song?
Yeah.
Well, since you finally got around to listening to my record, you said you like Oh No, Another Song?
Yeah, man. I love it. I literally had a smile.
Oh no, another song. Somebody left the radio on. Somebody's done somebody else wrong. Oh no, another song. Here it comes, another rhyme, another songwriter. One of his lines. Doesn't he know that he's wasting his time? Oh no, another song. Save it, save it, save it, someone who cares. Save it, save it, save it. Here it comes another night. Don't try to tell me something ain't right. Turn off the TV, shut out the light. Bring it on another night. Bring it on another night. Save it, save it, save it for someone who cares. Save it, save it, save it. Oh, another song. Somebody left the radio on. Somebody's done somebody else wrong. Oh no, another song. Oh no, another song. Oh no, another song. Oh no, not another one.
Man, I love that song.
Yeah, that's on. Where is it? Available at your favorite record store if you can find one.
More Like Me. That is awesome. That song just makes me laugh. So good. And you wrote, did you write that after the tour that we did there we went to the Buddy Holly Foundation Songwriting Week that Chris Difford from Squeeze puts on. Is that where you wrote it?
That was after the tour, and then we went straight to that songwriting festival with Chris Difford's.
I love that. So, could you play? Everybody's loving it, by the way. I know you're not seeing it, but you're getting a lot of likes
We got a lot of likes.
And Isaac Tallent, your son, is watching. So shout out to Isaac and Johnny McKinnon. Johnny McKinnon says, "Great song, Gary, sounding good."
Thanks, Johnny. Johnny did a great job filling in on that English tour. Hello, Johnny. Good to see you. Good to hear from you.
Yeah, and so I'm looking at the comments right now. So if you have any questions, put it in there. Also, where are you watching from?
I'm being shown comments. I can't read them, but
yeah. Well, after the show, maybe go through them and checking them out.
Oh, Isaac.
There he is.
Isaac is not my biggest fan. Well, he's a good guy, though.
I want to send a shout out to him because he's really doing well. He joined the Army this year, didn't he?
Well, last year he did, and he will be heading off to Germany on the 5th of August. And I'm very proud of him. I'm very excited for him. I'm very jealous of him, actually. I wish I were heading off to Germany next week. It's very exciting. He's got a great chance to learn. He's a medic in the Army, and he's doing great, and he's going to do fabulous things.
That is awesome. I'm really proud of Isaac. That's really good. Christy Rose says, "Hi, Johnny McKinnon." So Christy's in the house.
Hey, Fats. Yeah, and Etienne. I forgot Etienne's last name.
Etienne Gerard. I'm not sure if he's watching. He may be.
No, but I wanted to mention him. He did a fabulous job filling in for Mark Winchester
on bass. And what an interesting thing to do, to come in to fill in on bass for the bass player, one of the best bass players in the world and one of the biggest bands in the world. He was quite shell shocked. I think the
He
first.
was he was nothing short of fabulous. He was.
Yeah, he really is. Let's see. Um, oh, Martin Lord says, "How about playing Voodoo Chili bass line for us, please?"
What now?
The Voodoo Chili bass line for us.
Voodoo Chili. I have no idea what he's talking about.
Yeah, you know. Oh, Jude Johnston is in the house.
Jude.
Yeah,
Jeez.
Jude is
Hi,
going to
Jude.
be. So I started these weekly webcasts really to kind of spur on the crowdfunding thing for the new record, Good Thing, and which, by the way, is probably the stupidest thing I could have ever done is try to crowdfund in the middle of a global pandemic. But I can't go on the road. I can't. I've had to cancel a few shows, and I thought, okay, what can I do? I can make a record, which I hope you'll be playing bass on.
I can't leave Tennessee.
I'm coming to Tennessee.
Okay, well, that I can do.
I love it. I love it. But I started doing these weekly webcasts, and I'm enjoying it so much. It's been so good for my mental headspace to be able to make some music and talk to friends and Jude is actually going to be my guest next week.
Oh,
And
really? Do you know Jude?
I do. I consider Jude Johnston one of the all-time greatest songwriters to ever walk the earth. And I initially based it on one song, Hearts and Armor, that she wrote for Trisha Yearwood. Don Henley actually sang with Trisha on that record. And the lyrics are just, I mean, it truly is, I think, one of the greatest all-time songs, Hearts and Armor. So if you haven't heard Hearts and Armor by Trisha Yearwood, check it out. But then I started delving into Jude's records and her songwriting, and I soon discovered that she's kind of like a Jimmy Webb type character, you know. She also wrote Nightingale by Trisha Yearwood, so it's kind of like the Jimmy Webb, Glenn Campbell thing. Trisha seems to like to cut Jude Johnston songs, and so there's actually a song, and Jude doesn't even know this, and she may not agree, but she wrote a song that I would like to record on the new record. I think it's Nature Don't Care or something like that. She posted it on her Facebook page, and it was just her and the piano, and I thought it was just gorgeous. So I want to record it, and so I thought, you know, I want to bring people into the podcast or the webcast that will have something to do with the new record and my musician friends that I love and care about. So you're included in that, and then Jude Johnston will be included in that next week. So next Sunday, I'll have her on, and she's just amazing. Oh, Jimi Hendrix, Voodoo Child. I think that's what it was. Isaac just posted that. Because someone said in one of the interviews I saw, and you said that seeing Jimi Hendrix changed everything for you, right?
I never saw Jimi Hendrix.
Or, well, hearing him.
Oh, hearing him, yeah. Well, made me a bass player, that's for sure.
Is that what inspired you to be a bass player?
Well, I think I had some help. I had members of the band said, you know, you'd probably be a better bass player. I got through the first album as a guitar player, the Are You Experienced, Foxy Lady. I could get away with that. But then the second album came out, and I just said, Jimmy, you're on your own. I'm a bass player from now on. That's it. He was astonishing in every way, and still is to me. So, because Jeff Beck has had more years to perfect his thing, so Beck might actually be a better guitar player, maybe. But Jimmy was just amazing. That stuff just came from Mars, as far as I was concerned. It's just still fantastic.
Do you have a favorite bass line? Is your bass right there with you?
I have a bass here.
Yeah. Did you play that bass on any of the records that we know?
No.
Okay. Can you play your favorite Jimi Hendrix bass line?
How's that?
I love it.
Bass is not really entertaining all by itself.
It
You want to hear
is.
Born to Run?
Yes, I do, because I saw a video of Born to Run.
Exciting stuff, right?
No, play a little bit more of it, because I almost grabbed a video of a guy on YouTube playing the bass part of Born to Run, and I almost played it just for the heck of it, or posted it on my Facebook. Will you play a little bit of Born to Run on the bass, because it's pretty damn good.
What do you mean? It's just Eddie Cochran. All it is Summertime Blues. Summertime Blues. That's all it is.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Okay, let's see if we have any more questions. Will you play another one of your songs, or we talked about a Buddy Holly song, or whatever you want to play? Could you play No Sign of Love? Do you have? I mean, or do you need
that's the whole big production thing. That's kind of.
I was gonna say it is kind of one of those production records that
I can't do it without my sitar. See.
Yeah.
I need a sitar for that one. And I can't sit like that anymore. Yeah, I can play one of my songs, I suppose. I don't know which one I would do. Let's see.
Ellen Pragnell Roche says, "Stop selling yourself short."
Who said that?
Ellen Pragnell Roche.
Well,
Mike McAdam, he is. Hello, guys. Hendrix also played bass on All Along the Watchtower, but Gary knows that.
Dave Mason played rhythm guitar on that.
Did he really? I sang with Dave Mason at the Clear Lake Ballroom for the Buddy Holly 50th, the 50th anniversary of Buddy's passing. I got up and I'm a huge Dave Mason fan, and I was able to get up there and sing the harmonies for him, the backups for him.
Cool.
Yeah.
I did a weekend in St. Thomas with Dave Mason. I'm a big Traffic fan, big Dave Mason fan. Here's a song you can all join in with. It's very simple and I hope it's make your own life up if you want to. Radio life if it will do. Love that record.
I love it. All right.
One of my songs. See, one of my songs. Any requests? I don't do this very often, Kevin.
Well,
I'm not a troubadour like you.
Someone asked if you would play. They said one of the highlights was "Crying, Waiting, Hoping" by Buddy Holly when you sang it in the Clooney in Newcastle.
Really?
Yeah, they loved it. Could you play that for us?
Well, sure. The connection with that is Marshall Crenshaw had a chance to play Buddy Holly in the Richie Valens movie, and so I helped him get the part by producing, the songs, and of course everybody wanted to do Peggy Sue, That'll Be the Day, and I just thought that it'd be kind of cool if he, in the fantasy ballroom show, he pulled out one of his new songs that he'd just written, but it's like a follow-up to Peggy Sue. So kind of put that Peggy Sue paradiddle beat to Crying, Wait, and Hope, and then that's what we did for the movie, and that got him the part. So that was kind of a fun time. Many years ago. I'd like to have a band, but we'll try. I'm waiting, hoping you'll come back. I just can't seem to get you off my mind. I'm trying, wait, hoping you'll come back. What I love, and I think about you all the time. Crying, tears keep falling all night long. You sorry, I know it's wrong. I wait, hoping you come back. You're I love, and I think about you all the time. Tears keep falling all night long. You sorry, I know it's wrong. Right, wait, hoping you come back. You're the one I love. Think about you all the time. Right, wait, hoping.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, Buddy Holly.
That is awesome.
That was the idea behind the song. Like, if Buddy Holly had lived to record it, maybe he would have done it in the Peggy Sue style. But
That is awesome. Antoinette Switzer has asked, who is from Ireland, has asked that you play something from Break Time.
something from Break Time. What's on Break Time? I don't remember.
And by the way, Ireland was so good to us. What?
Oh, I loved it. They had a great time.
The Dublin show was so dadgum good, and the people were great. For those of y'all that weren't there, Gary signed autographs for 2.5 hours after the show.
Longer than the show.
Yeah.
The show was only 2 hours.
Yeah. You worked hard, man, and I think that's why people love you so much. I mean, and I don't know, man. So coming from me, being a geek who is a Springsteen and the E Street Band fan, when you guys kind of, when he made the Human Touch record with the studio guys in LA, who are incredible, Jeff Porcaro, God rest his soul, and those guys. As a fan, something was missing. And I've thought about it a lot, and I think it's because people, they like a gang. They like a group of people that are supporting each other and have good attitudes, and a gang of guys that are a band. Yeah.
A band, yeah. Yeah, it's a band. It's the difference between doing it with a band and doing it with studio musicians. You know that.
Yeah. What was that time period like for you?
What time? That early '90s. Well, I had moved to Nashville already. I moved to Nashville in '89, right after the Tunnel of Love tour, and I by that time, I started doing sessions, and I think I probably opened Moondog Studio by then, and I was just producing and just doing other things. That's it was. It was the '90s, the end of the E Street Band, kind of my new life, and I rather I had a great time. I didn't have much success. I think my priorities were more in the art rather than the music business. So, but I don't regret it. I made some records that I'm proud of, and had a good time.
Of those records
Played
that
a
you
lot
made,
of records I'm not so proud of, but that's all right.
um, of the songs off of those two records, it was a double record, Human Touch, and I forget what the other one was called, but do you have a favorite song that you kind of made your own or kind of connected with that he made on those two records when it wasn't this E Street Band?
Well, I think you mentioned the one that you covered. I'd rather go blind. I think that's a great song. That there were some great songs on there. There's always, he's a great songwriter. I think that well, I guess that would be Two Steps Back. Is that the album? No, you're talking about that the Lucky Town. I can't think of anything offhand. Well, I like we've done the two that Roy wrote with him, Roller the Dice. We've done those live. Roy wrote the music and Bruce wrote the words, and I think they're very cool songs. And they well, it's a lot of Roy on the record, so there's a bit of E Street even on that record, even though they wouldn't let him play the piano.
Well, you know this now because I came to see you guys with my friend Garry, and we came to see you guys play up in Leicester, and we came to the hotel after the show, and Roy was there with you, and Roy Bittan actually produced my unreleased second record on A&M. We cut 4 sides together, and so we it was great to see him after the show, but we cut some good stuff. But I kind of had it with A&M and was ready to wreck my career, to self-sabotage my career. So I asked off the label, but we could have made a great record together. But he's
Roy's
a
a
very
great
talented
producer. He saved the Lucinda record, the Gravel Road record. I followed that. Steve Earle was doing it. Ray Kennedy was working with, and it started out with another pal of mine producing it. But finally, Roy got it in the studio and wrapped it up. Nobody could seem to wrap that one up. So yeah, Roy's Roy. Roy's one of the greats, I think.
I think he is as well. I enjoyed working with him. He didn't, he wasn't heavy-handed at all. He was just there to make the music. So I enjoyed it. Antoinette has, who I think is fast becoming one of your biggest fans, has asked for Charlene. Could he play Charlene from Break Time?
Charlene. Well, there's no band. There's no. I came in a little late last night. First thing you know, we're in a hell of a fight. Gave me a whack upside my head. Should've stayed out with the boys instead. I said, come on, baby, don't treat me this way. Know you really love me no matter what you say. Charlene. Charlie, come on, baby, don't cause a scene. Oh, Charlie, don't be so mean. I can't think of the rest of the words. Big finish, drums go crazy. Yeah,
That is funny.
yeah. If I prepared, I'd have some cheat sheets and some what do you call it? Cue cards.
Yeah. I'm trying to get my.
It's not a professional show, Kevin.
It's not a what?
It's not a professional show. You need more professional guests here.
No, come on. That was great. Okay, play another one from Break Time.
Oh, I would have to remember all the words. All right, here we go.
I'll be right back. I'm listening. I'll be right back.
Oh, I drove
I'm
one
listening.
person.
You're still going. Play the song. I'll be back.
Late one day in a French cafe, right on the Champs-Élysées, I was having my way when a jolie madame sat down right across from me. Tried to be cool, but I feel like a fool if I didn't try to say hi. Spoke no French and no, it made no sense. All I could think of to say was ooh la la, baby parlez-vous. Oh bonjour to sweet, honey, oh so sweet. I think that I'm in love with you. Ooh la la, des bons temps roulés. Well, since you're here, my dear, never go away. After a while, I got a wink and a smile. I could tell she was slightly amused. Finding our groove, we headed straight for the roof. Followed by my food. Out on the Seine as it started to rain. Although I know it sounds insane, I told her once more the only words that sure were those she couldn't refuse. I just said ooh la la, ooh baby parlez-vous. A bonjour to sweet, honey oh so sweet. So tell mama love you. Ooh la la, enfant roulé. Well, sit your hair on my neck and go away. I forgot the rest of it. I got to get back on the road and get back to work here.
I love that. Do you have any, have you heard anything about going back on the road?
No. Have you heard?
No.
Anybody?
Well, I've got 2 shows in the Netherlands, and I've got one in Bury, England on December, I think starting on like the 3rd of December. I hope I'll be able to do them. I don't know if I'll be able to do them, but I think they're up there, and they're, the venues are open now, and hopefully I'll be able to do them.
We've all got our fingers crossed.
Okay, Ellen Pragnell Roche. We were at the Tunnels in Bristol. There was a group of us, and we all said it was one of the best nights of live music that we have seen. Collectively, we have been to a lot of concerts.
That's very nice. I remember the Tunnels. That was a great night.
Yeah, that was in Bristol.
Julian Dawson was there that night.
What's that?
My friend Julian from Germany.
Yeah, that's right.
The Tunnels.
Mm. How does that make you feel to be, you've been playing a very important supportive role in the E Street Band for all these years, and now you've stepped to the front and with your solo records and doing these tours. How does that make you feel for someone to say something like that?
It's very it's really incredible. Uh, I definitely appreciate it. I question people's sanity, but that's my problem. Um, yeah, we had a great time, and I agree. It was a great band. I think we put on a good rocking show, um, and I'm very happy that people enjoyed it because I sure enjoyed the hell out of it. Put it that way.
Yeah. Um, let's see if we have one more question, and then I'm going to let you enjoy the rest of your day, Gary.
I've enjoyed this part of the day, really.
Yeah. Well, I certainly do appreciate you coming on and playing some tunes. Do you have another tune? Do you want to play for
I'm
us?
trying to figure out. I've never done this, Kevin. I've never sit here and performed on camera as a troubadour.
Well, you're doing good. I'm enjoying it.
Well, maybe I'll get some more practice. We'll come back on your streaming. What do you call these things? Streamcast.
Yeah, live stream.
Anybody got any good questions?
Yeah, let's see. And also, if you're the tipping kind and you want to do the tip jar, there's the tip thing.
Somebody asked who that is?
It's down at the South Side, Johnny.
Oh,
Yeah.
it could be. Yeah. No, that's Doug Kershaw. I wrote a couple songs on his last album, and
Did
thank
you really?
Thank you for writing me some songs, Doug Kershaw. I'm very proud of that. I love Doug Kershaw. He's one of my favorites.
So Bart Ebbish,
I'll
I'll tell you, Bart Ebbish, who's a friend of mine from the Netherlands, and he's a quite prominent journalist over there. He asked about the Steve Forward records. He said, why did you only do one record with Steve?
I've done 3, actually.
Okay, then he doesn't know what he's talking about. He's lost his job. Bart, you're fired.
Well, I don't expect everybody to. I did Streets of This Town back in New Jersey, and then we did another one back in the early '90s. Then I did the album, the Jimmy Rogers tribute album with him, where he does all the Jimmy Rogers songs. I love Steve. I just I stopped producing records, back in the '90s. It just once my kids were grown, I figured I'd take care of some real children rather than a bunch of singer-songwriters. No one in particular, of course. But yeah, it's a lot of work.
Yeah.
Even raising kids is even more work, but it's all
Yes.
good.
So
Yes, I love Steve, and he's got a new record out that's just terrific. He keeps writing terrific songs, and he keeps getting better. So yeah, I don't necessarily look forward to producing him because he's got it down on his own now.
yeah.
He's making great records all by himself.
So Sia or Byers, this is a good question. Question for Gary. Do you have a personal favorite memory of Clarence Clemens?
Oh, jeez. Well, I've got a lot of memories of Clarence Clemens. Probably the best one being the first time I met him. He was Clarence Clemens was always Clarence Clemens, and at the time I was working with a band downtown Long Branch, New Jersey, a band called Little Melvin and the Invaders, and we played at a club just off Broadway in Long Branch called the Off Broadway. And I'd been working with Melvin for about 6 months. Never rehearsed, never anything, just show up and do the gig. I even used his bass. I didn't even have to. He picked me up. I used his bass amp. All I had to do was just show up. And then one night, the sax player in the band didn't show up, and he sent a sub. And the sub was this guy named Clarence Clemens, and that's when he showed up. And it was really funny because Clarence was very concerned about my welfare, and he wanted to take care of me, and so that none of the people would mess with me. I guess he didn't realize that I'd already been playing these black clubs for like 6 months, and there was never any problem. But you know, he was just that kind of guy, and so he took me under his wing, and I kind of never left there until he passed away 10 years ago. He was just a one of a million guy, and I miss him every day.
Now his nephew is now playing in the band. Is that correct?
Say it again?
Clarence was just an amazing guy to watch on stage, and just, you know, I mean, what the story that I love that, you know, from Springsteen is that the first time he met him, Clarence opened up the door to the club, and the door blew down the street.
Yeah. There was
Were you there that night?
That's called making an entrance.
Were you there that night?
Yeah, I was there. I was in Student Prince. He was playing up the street by then. This is after, I hadn't seen Clarence probably in a year. But yeah, he was invited down to jam, and sure enough, when he opened the door, there was a big storm, and the door got blown off the hinges, and he walked on in.
That is like, it's almost a scene out of a movie, right?
Almost what?
It sounds like a scene out of a movie.
Nobody would believe it.
Exactly. All right. Will you play us one more song? Do you have a song that you want to play, or am I pushing?
Are you pushing your luck?
Yeah.
Let me see.
It wouldn't be the first time. But I'm having a great time, and I hope everybody else is too. Sam Bruce says Garry is a wonderful person.
He doesn't know me.
I know you, and I think you're a wonderful person. Okay, where are y'all watching from? I always love to see that.
Yeah, I haven't seen all the comments. Should I? What do we got here?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, my sister. My sister's watching. All right. Oh, look at this. This is funny.
Awesome.
Got my whole damn family. My whole family.
Someone's watching from Gothenburg, Sweden, Iowa, Salisbury, UK, Asbury Park, Jill Conhaney from Asbury Park, Liverpool, Rita Carter, Tinker says hi from New Jersey, Carl Tinker West says hi from New Jersey.
Carl's Tinker Carl. Nobody calls him Carl. Tinker's on?
Yeah.
Hey, Tinker.
Jill Wall in Colorado.
I don't know if Tinker remembers, but I met him when he first moved from California to New Jersey. I was working in a music store, and he came in there Christmas Eve to buy a drum set. I don't know if he remembers that, but yeah.
If you could, let me ask you this: if you could go back, and I know how I feel, but I'm curious. If you could go back to one maybe year period in your life and do it again, what would that period be?
Well, I never would have moved to New Jersey.
You never would have moved to New Jersey?
Right.
Why?
Well, I mean, I'd be curious to see what would have happened. I moved from Delaware to New Jersey the day after school of my ninth grade, after junior high school. I moved to New Jersey, and I had lived in Delaware for most of my life at that point, or at least half of my life, and didn't really want to go to New Jersey. So I'd be curious to know what would have happened if I had just stayed where I was. But you can't do that.
I wasn't expecting that answer.
Oh, I'll always give you the unexpected answer. Won't I?
Yeah. Well, what do you think would have happened
Pardon me?
if you'd stayed in Delaware?
I can't imagine. My plan was to be a violin maker. I was an apprentice to a violin maker, and I probably would have gone in the service. Well, Vietnam. I don't know. Who knows? It's just something to think about. But actually, as it turns out, as much as I hated New Jersey, when I moved there, it worked out pretty well. So can't complain. I'm a lucky guy. I got lucky.
There you go. That may be the thing. You're the theme. You're a lucky guy, right?
I am.
Well, do you have another tune you want to play us, or
I hadn't prepared anything. There's something, I don't know. Is there a pick around here? Let me
I've
see.
got one
Excuse me, President. You got one?
Yeah. right here.
Never mind. We don't need this.
Bud McLaughlin asked, "Where in Delaware? Where were you from, Gary?"
Blue days, black nights, I couldn't realize I would miss you the way I do. And now, somehow, I know I will pay for the times I have made you blue. Memories of you make me sorry. I give you reason to doubt me. How you gonna? And I am the sorrow of Blue days, black nights.
I love that. And you know who wrote that? Ben Hall.
Ben Hall. I don't know who that is.
Ben Hall wrote that, and he, when I was a kid, he moved to Nashville, and he was working for my dad at House of Gold Publishing. He was there for many years. Pardon me. What did you say?
It stopped. Never mind. So he was working at
Yeah, Ben Hall, who wrote Blue Days, Black Nights, moved to Nashville with his wife, and he was working for my dad at House of Gold Publishing when my dad was, a publisher there in Nashville, and they knew each other from Lubbock and Clovis and all that. But
was he a Texas guy? I don't know how that song, how they found that song, but that was the first single.
yeah, but Ben was a great guy, really gentle, sweet dude. Well, listen, thank you, Gary, so much. I really appreciate you coming on and being a part of the web stream. And I think everybody's had a good time. I'm going to play a couple of tunes for you. We're going to let Gary go about your day. What do you have planned for today?
Oh, it's about 100 degrees here today, so I think it's kind of an inside day. COVID day, You play a little music, watch a little TV.
I love
Everybody
it.
wears a mask when they go outside.
Yeah. Well, I'm very, very happy that you came on. I appreciate it. Everybody, go grab Gary's record. I'm gonna let you go, and I'm gonna play "I Wish I Were Blind," my favorite Springsteen tune, and then I'm gonna play a few songs for everybody, and hope you guys will hang on and go buy Gary's record. Once again, where you buy it is right here. More Like Me at Backstreets.com. And thank you, Gary.
Hey, I had a good time. It's good to see you. Oh, I didn't really see you. Didn't hear from you. Oh, I see you.
Man, I was
You're in the
about as
dark.
nervous as I've
How
ever.
come you're in the dark?
I was about as nervous as I've ever been
Okay.
Yeah, it's
Well,
nighttime over here.
It was fun. It was fun. And next time I will have some things prepared for you.
No, it was great. I really appreciate it, Gary. Thank you very much.
Look forward to you getting to Nashville so we can make some music together.
I love it. I love it.
Be
All
well.
right.
Be well, everybody. Take care of yourself and take care of your neighbors.
I love it. Now, I'm not sure. I'm not sure when you leave it, the sound's on. So if you have anything bad to say about me, don't say it.
I'll save it for your face.
All right, brother. I'm gonna play I Wish I Were Blind for you. Thank you very much.
As long as you don't play I Wish I Were Deaf after I sang, so I appreciate that.
No, not at all.
Take care.
All right, brother. Thank you.
Be well.
Okay, thanks. And let's see here. See you later. Or maybe just sit there and listen to me play I Wish I Were Blind. I love to see the cottonwood blossom in the early spring. I love to see the message of love that the bluebird brings. When I see you walking with them down along the strand, I wish I were blind. When I see you with your man, I love to see your hair shining on summer's night. I love to watch the stars fill the sky on a summer's night. Music plays, take his hand, I watch how you touch him when you start to dance. And I wish I were blind when I see you with your man. We struggle here, but all our love's in vain. In these eyes, you must fill me with your beauty. They'll fill me with pain. In the light that won't it here is damage from me. Oh, when this darkness is gone, baby, that my heart sees. And though this world is filled with the grace and beauty of God's hand, I wish I were blind when I see you with your man. Oh, I wish I were blind when I see you with your man. Oh, I wish I were blind when I see you with your man. Well, that's funny. Hey, if you guys have enjoyed this evening and you're the tipping kind, I'm not on the road right now, so if you want to use PayPal to tip, that'd be awesome. That's the virtual tip jar, or Venmo right there. There's the Venmo, Kevin Montgomery 615. All right. That stumbled off the Another Long Story record. I've got Another Long Story as one of the perks for the crowdfunding thing to make a good thing. Yeah, you can buy Another Long Story on as one of the perks to help me make good thing. Thanks for staying on, and man, that was so good to talk to Garry. I've been nervous as hell all day long, man. I woke up, my back was in knots. And then about half an hour before I went on, I lost my earpiece, which I need to actually, communicate with people when I'm interviewing them. Oh, it's been a crazy day. But thanks for chilling with me. I'm having a Guinness, so cheers, everybody. And I'm gonna play a couple more songs for you. All right. So Barbara Gloucester requested this just a minute ago. This is a song I wrote for my daughter. How can I write a song as beautiful as you were? How can I sing my pain? What melody would I write that would make my angel sing. Nothing. I can still feel her weight in my arms. When I looked in her face, I saw myself. I thought about her life. There was nothing I could do. Nothing. I can see the rose petals falling down. It helped to have the family all around. And Mom, the life she missed. No wedding day, no sweet 16. Nothing. 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 Thank you. Sierra Byers, thank you very much for, she just said she contributed on the Indiegogo campaign. The new record, it's going to get made. No matter what, it's going to get made. It has not been easy. So if you want to help out, go to the Indiegogo campaign and Indiegogo.com, and then Kevin Montgomery, good thing. Look at some of the perks. I need 3 or 4 people to do a backyard concert, and Archie Anderson. How about having Melvin Duffy as a guest in future broadcasts? Man, I'll tell you what, I love his steel playing. What a great guy. Yeah. So let me play this song. This is going to be on the new record. I wrote it with a guy named Robert Vincent, and we wrote it to Peter Bradley Um, yeah. Bo's saying hello. Do you want to come say hello to everybody? Bo's just tapping on the window saying hello. Peter Bradley said, why don't you and Robert write a song like Buddy and your dad wrote when they were trying to write a song for the Everly Brothers. And that's when they wrote Wishing, Love's Made a Fool of You, Heartbeat. So we wrote this song, and this is going to be on the new record, On Good Thing. Andrew Thomas asked, can we get Al Perkins on one webcast, please? You know, I talked to him a few days ago, and Al's a funny bird. I think I can get him on, but it's going to take a little while. But I'll do it. It'll happen. Yep, no problem, Barbara. So here it is. It's such a lovely day when I'm with you. Doesn't matter where we go or say or do. Don't let them break you down when darkness gathers near. I'll push away the clouds, just speaking I will hear. These are the plans we made when love is true. Doesn't matter where we go or say or do. Don't let them break you down when darkness gathers in. I'll push away the clouds, just speaking I will hear. Don't let them break you down when darkness gathers near. I'll push away the clouds, just speaking I will hear. It's such a lovely day when I'm with you. Doesn't matter where we go or say or do. It's such a lovely day. It's such a lovely day. It's such a lovely day. Man, I'm relaxed now. Man, I was so nervous. You know, it's like you can be in the van with somebody for a long time on a tour, and you know, you have these conversations, but when it comes to interviewing them, man, it's a whole different animal. So thank you guys for hanging out and asking some good questions and supporting me through this thing, you know. Wardlaw Jackson, up there in the borders of Scotland, one of my favorite people in the world. That's Lovely Day, Annabelle. Annabelle's watching in Phoenix. I had a couple of requests in the comments for this song. I don't know if I can play it. I'm going to give it a shot. Nah, I don't know. I don't want to, bum you guys out. I've done enough bumming out. So, you know what? I would do Angel. Let me do Angel tonight next week. I'm going to do Angel tonight next week because I went on longer than I thought I would with Garry, and it's coming up on 11 o'clock, you know, here. And I want to be respectful of my neighbors and friends and everything. So let me play one more tune. This is the title track off my first record on A&M Records called Fear Nothing. And, so I'm going to be back next week. I'm going to make this a weekly thing. And Jude Johnston, thanks Byron, really appreciate it. Thank you very much. Jude Johnston is going to be here with me. Get your goosebumps on. Man, we wrote that song quickly for some comfort. But going to be back next week with Jude Johnston, one of my favorite songwriters in the world. Back here Sunday at 8:30. Just, you can't miss her. Truly, one of the most amazing songwriters in the world, and she's going to be my special guest next week. So thank you, Garry Tallent. Thank you guys, everybody, for watching. And if you're the tipping kind, it's kevinmontgomery@mac.com. Also, I've got a Venmo, Kevin Montgomery 615. And once again, if you want to buy the Garry Tallent record, More Like Me at Backstreets, like I said, I listened to it today, and it really blew me away. I mean, there's a couple of songs on there that are just, I mean, I listened to 5, and they were, awesome. So buy the record, and thank y'all so much for watching. Really, really appreciate it. Stephanie, thank you very much for the Venmo. Barbara, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Barbara's watching here in England, and Jackie Edge, good to see you. So next week I'm gonna do my best. I didn't know what was gonna happen tonight. I'm gonna do my best next week to really get to people's requests. Tonight was a special thing to have Garry on, and we talked. I didn't know how long it would last, or how long he would give me, but I felt like it was moving right along, so we kept talking. So there was a little less music this week. I anticipate next week to be a little bit more music, and some chat with Jude Johnston. But anyway, get your requests in. I'll post a link to the webcast on the Facebook page. Also, like my YouTube channel. I've got a YouTube channel. I'm on Instagram, all that stuff. Anyway, blah, blah, blah. Thank y'all so much. Jenny, hey, Jeannie, out there in California. So thank y'all, and I'll see you next week right here at 8:30. And I'm going to have one more sip of Guinness, and then I'm going to play the damn song. Wanna ride through town with the windows wide open, forget about your hair, I'm just gonna mess it up anyway. Wanna pull you soared from a descent in heat. We are let down by the people we believe. Yes, it is true, sometimes life can be tough. I still believe you can pull me through with your love. Yes, you are something, fear nothing. Yes, you are something, fear nothing. Wanna drive you around the stadium all night. When the door wind blows, he'll dry your tears by the morning. The lights of the street grow dim as we speak. Everything else just fades away into night as we speak. Yes, you are something, fear nothing. 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 Thank y'all so much. Love you. Thanks for joining me here on Sunday evening. And I'll see you next week. Love y'all. Thank you, Garry Tallent, for joining me tonight. What an amazing guy. And I'm just thankful to be friends with him. See you later.